And good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. It's great to be here with you. Oh, yes. Amy Guyette Hall, I'm glad you're in the room. I was just talking about you to my guests, and we're going to talk about something that you turned me on to. I'm going to share that with all of you shortly when my guest gets on here. And good morning, Sherry, and Michael Badley's in the house. Good morning, Tina and Cindy and Bob. Good morning, Bob. Where have you been? Man, love you a long time. Not seeing you around. Thought you were mad at me or something. Hello, Tracy and Ray Golick. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Have we got a show for you? We're bringing energy back. We're not recycling energy. We're just bringing it back. I've got a very special guest. Was my second guest on Wake Up to the Vibe when COVID hit. And she's back with us today to share some good positive energy and some nice health tips. But before we bring our guests on, I want to do a special thank you, a shout out to George Hodge, Jack the Radio on Friday. Man, your stuff is exceptional. And I'm loving it. I was actually listening to it all weekend. I am so blessed to meet these artists and musicians that I have on the show and to bring them to you. I hope you feel the same because it has been nothing but a great pleasure. And George Hodge was no exception to the rule. Jack the Radio. I'm actually going to play the song as a closer today called My Way. Just a very, very cool song. And so if you didn't watch that interview, go check it out. Great guy and a phenomenal artist, a painter, and he draws, he does cartoons, he put out a book, he's got an album, he's got several albums, and he's just the guy bleeds art. So check it out. That was Jack the Radio, George Hodge. That was Friday's show. Special shout out. Yes. Thank you, people. Those of you who purchased the Wake Up to the Vibe t-shirt. You're taking the Vibe Tribe to another level. I saw a few orders go in this weekend and I got really excited. It's so cool. Now, when you get your apparel, I need a picture of you wearing it, and then we're going to feature you on the show. This is fun stuff, taking it to another level. So thank you to all of you. And then I also want to say that we are finalizing the guests, the hosts that will be hosting their own show here on Wake Up to the Vibe. Several shows, finance show, a holistic healing show. We have a sports show. We have a wellness show, a parenting show. These are shows that are going to happen at 8 and 9 o'clock, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Our finance show is going to kick off on Thursdays. Some real fun stuff. We're finalizing all the details this week. It is my number one mission because next week there will be more shows here on Wake Up to the Vibe, all because of you, because you showed up. So thank you so much. We do appreciate that. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit later about a documentary that we filmed this weekend. It's kind of interesting. It's a really funny perspective on things. And then I want to share something with you if I have time. If not, I'll share it on Wednesday about customer service. Home Depot takes it to another level. If you ever had to call online, you have their website, you do their shopping and you buy what you need and it gets shipped to your house. Well, I had troubles with the shipping, so I called and the woman on the phone took customer service to another level. And we're going to talk about that. But I have a guest on the show today, and we are going to bring some energy to you. I hope you are ready. And in the house, please welcome. She's back. She's an author. I call her the Yoga Master. The Yoga Master. Please welcome my special guest, Jennilee Toner. Good morning.
Good morning. Hello, hello.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Early.
It is early, and I'm asking. I was wondering this morning when I woke up, and I'm thinking about, okay, the nice thing about having you on the show is because you've been on before, so I don't have to think about what am I going to ask her. It's like having you over to the house for coffee. I'm
I
like,
know. I love it.
but I was wondering, is it, because you're into yoga and meditation and fitness and health, is it easy for you to get up on a Monday? Was this hard for you today?
Well, it's so funny because this was a little hard because I've basically taken a month off. You and I met like you said, the second day of your show. So we met early in COVID, right? And for 8 weeks, actually it stretched to 12 weeks. I was up every day doing a 7 a.m. meditation, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. on Saturday, and we did 9 a.m. on Sunday. For 8 weeks solid without a break. It was awesome, right? And then to 10 weeks, there was a few breaks, and then 12 weeks. And then I took a break. And I have slept, it was, and so the month of June going into July, definitely have taken a break, just worked out myself, slept in, but I'm starting to kick it back up in August. So today was a great reminder, Joe, of what it's like, because I'm doing a 21-day meditation every weekday in August. There's 21 weekdays, which is awesome. And then I'm doing a training and a workshop. So August is kicking up in high gear again, which I'm excited for. But today was a nice reminder. So thank you.
No, thank you. And that's pretty funny. So did you just wake up today from the month sleep?
Yes, I was asleep for a month.
You're like a bear.
What's so funny, because a friend said to me the other day, she goes, every time I see you, you look younger and younger. And I was like, oh, it's all the sleeping. I think the sleeping has done such great benefits for me.
Well, you know what? Now, speaking of sleep, and I love this topic in itself, because sleep is super important. A lot of people will say, "Oh, you sleep too much," or "Oh my gosh, you and your naps." I've heard that. I'm a napper, and I'm not afraid to admit it because it's my life. If I choose to take a nap at 4 o'clock for a half an hour, that's what I do. Yep. I mean, everybody in Italy does it.
Oh, yeah.
But it's healthy.
It's so healthy. I was the healthiest different times in my life. But when I lived in Key West, I did Bikram yoga 7 days a week. Okay. Oh, 6 days. Sorry, 6 days a week. I went to school. I was running. I was swimming. I was waitressing. And all of that, I would take a nap every day. Like I would take a nap. And want to hear something, Joe? I just learned, because I'm in acupuncture school now, right?
Okay.
So the lungs, are at their highest from 3 to 5 a.m., right? That's why you get up. You're meant to get up early, do your breathing techniques, go out, stretch in nature, breathe deep. From 3 to 5 in the morning, your lungs are at their peak, right?
Wow.
They're at their lowest between 3 to 5 p.m. We're meant to draw back. We're meant to scale back. Take a nap. Don't put so much effort on the lungs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
Well, what's crazy, I could validate that.
Yeah.
I wake up religiously at 3:30 in the morning for no reason. I have no idea why. It's the same time in the middle of the night. And then I usually will go back to sleep like 5 in the morning, right? Or sometimes 6, whatever. But then what happens is, like 3, 4 o'clock, I start getting like this. When I'm going to admit this, and hopefully I know Mike Bentley's in the room. He's one of the directors at the software company that I worked for. But I would get so tired sometimes. I would, how you ever like fake work and you just sit there real still and you meditate and you go into your sleep, and all of a sudden you find yourself either drooling or falling off the chair, and it's like, I better get back to work.
I like that.
Well, that was my little nap. I had to do my 10-minute, and I would just sit real still so nobody knew. People were walking by me. They're like, "Hey, Joe, good afternoon." I'm like, you don't hear nothing from me.
Right. And the most creative for you to wake up, for you to instinctively wake up that time every morning, because you're a creative force. And that's, I don't know if you can confirm this, that's where we get a lot of that creative download. I always get the secrets of the universe at like 3:30 in the morning,
Yeah.
Something I'm supposed to teach that day. I wake up in the morning. I'm like, there it was. Now I'm supposed to teach.
You are speaking my language. That's exactly what happens. I'll get out of bed and I can sit down for 2 hours from 3:30 to 5:30 in the morning. And I'm doing all my graphics and I was like, Michelle will say to me, she's like, so how'd you sleep last night? Oh, great. I built a website from 3:30 to 5:30.
That's so great. You're tuned in, you're tapped in, because that's where they say it's dawn and dusk. Like when we come back to meditation, it always goes back to yoga and meditation, but you're meant to meditate at the time, especially dawn, where it's that meeting of night to morn, you know what I'm saying? The darkness into the light. And
Right.
to be right in that special time. It's like the veil between the worlds is thin, you know, but it's at dawn, the rosy colored fingers of dawn.
That's man, thank you. You know what you just did for me on this Monday morning? You just helped me rid myself from guilt. Because people they'll make fun of you. Like I said, they'll joke with you about your naps and this and that. You just validated that my lifestyle is okay.
Yep. And then we just got to eat soup, right? Soup is nice for our, like, so this is like, we're validating getting older. Apparently, we're like, naps are good, soup is good,
wine is okay for you, right?
4:30 dinner is the best. We're just validating what getting older is what we're doing right now.
Right. That's awesome. Thank you so much for that. We started to talk before the show started. And I was telling you about my new friend, Amy Guyette Hall, who is a master gardener, holistic healer, drugless practitioner. I love that term, right? So we were talking one day and I was telling her, I says, Amy, I don't know what it is. I feel like I wake up every day with a hangover and I'm not even drinking. So like I started thinking something was wrong with me because I'd go for my walks and I would do all the right things. I would eat right. I'm exercising. I'm not just talking one day of it. Like I changed my lifestyle to be that. Mm-hmm. And I still woke up every morning feeling like foggy and cloudy and not the hangover. Like I drank a bottle of vodka or anything, which I've never done. I've drank a bottle of tequila. I've never had a bottle of vodka, but you know what I mean? Like where you just can't like get out of your own way and you're driving and you just feel like you're in a cloud, right? Mm-hmm. So she recommended that I try this chloroxygen. It's a little bottle. It's got an eyedropper. You put 18 drops in a 8-ounce glass of water or coconut water, and then you do the same at night, right? Mm-hmm. Let me tell you, I am going to preach this stuff for the rest of my life. In 20 years, I have not slept from the time I went to bed to like say 6 a.m, right? 4 nights in a row I'm going on now. My energy is through the roof. It rebuilds your red blood cells. It helps your immune system. I don't even know if that's the reason why I'm sleeping. All I know is I've been taking it for 5 days and I've been sleeping for 4. Perfect sleep, like perfect sleep. I'm so excited. I go, wow, this is what it feels like to get a good night's rest. I've missed this for 20 years. So Amy Guyette Hall, I see she came into the room and is watching the show. Thank you so much for the tip. Chloroxygen, folks.
Right. It's got to think of blood. Like you said, it's, you're feeling it in your blood, and blood is, oxygen is the number one healer. I mean, without it, and if your blood, your platelet, your blood, your red blood cells aren't carrying the amount of hemoglobin it's supposed to, you know what I'm saying? It's not doing its job to carry that oxygen rich hemoglobin, nice red blood around the body. Then or your blood is too thick or your vessels are too constricted. We want the flow of blood to be nice,
yes.
Nice, even, like beautiful, no clogs, no thickness, right? Just flowing blood, right?
Beautiful blood flowing.
Blood, everybody. That's what we want for everybody. Beautiful blood.
You're the only person who can get excited over the word hemoglobin.
Exactly. Right. Well, I'm learning so much in school, and I've already taught anatomy for 10 years internationally, and I love it. My mind is blown. I'm in my 3rd semester at school, and I'm just eating up and just loving all the sciences. I actually am taking biology, and I'm like, I could be a biology teacher. I never thought, like, I love this stuff. You know, I'm really digging it, and I'm happy to keep learning.
That's so cool. You're like, look at me, I can do anything.
Right. I want to talk about the blood for a moment too, if I can, because this is another thing to think about. The blood. Okay, so in Chinese medicine, they say the dream, the Shen, it anchors itself here in your body, in your blood. So the dream is in the blood, okay, according to Chinese medicine. So like you have the overarching dream, say for humanity or for the planet or whatever, but you have a dream. You have a dharma, a purpose, you know what I'm saying? We all do, right? And and according to Chinese medicine, it's anchored in your blood, right? So that's kind of different than maybe like our soul's purpose, like different languaging, right? But I love this. So your heart operates at its highest, like we talked about the lungs. The heart operates its highest between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. So high noon, okay, is when you're meant to go actualize your dream. Your blood is pumping, okay? The heart is doing what it needs to do to pump the blood. So your dream is meant to be actualized. High noon, go out there, do what you need to do in the morning with your practice, and then go out there and live the dream, actualize the dream. So, but on the flip side, your heart is at its lowest, right? At 11 p.m. to 1 a.m., right? So we need to make sure we're in bed, sleeping. Right? So in Ayurveda or yoga, we're meant to be in bed by 10. Chinese, it's 11, okay? So you're sleeping so that the blood can rest. The liver takes over, it can rest. But the dream, they say, returns to the big dream, right? It rejuvenates. Your dream rejuvenates between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. So you got to sleep. If we're not sleeping, the dream and the heart doesn't get to rest, right? And then we're nervous all day because our heart didn't get the opportunity to rest, right? So we're at the beginning of our day doing what we need to do, like to do our morning, but 11 a.m., that's the time. Get out there, actualize the dream because your blood is pumping.
That's amazing. You know what just registered in my head though? You're saying when the heart goes to rest, an hour later, your lungs are, your heart goes to rest. And now your lungs are saying, okay, it's my turn.
Right. Exactly.
That's crazy.
They all weave into another. You got your lungs and your large intestine, your heart and your small intestine. They all weave in, and I love that weaving concept because I love fascia. That's one of my big conversations, the connective tissue that wraps around everything in your body. I'm a big fascia geek. They call fascia geeks fascists. We're the new fascists.
You're a fascist.
But it's yogic. Anything that unifies, I'm in love with. The blood unifies, the dream unifies.
You're a fascist.
Fascist. Let that word get out.
I was just gonna say they'll be protesting against you. Watch out. Be careful what you say on the show.
Yeah, make sure you watch the whole show for context. Don't just hear that one soundbite.
That's a fact. Oh my gosh. And I said it on Friday. I posted, I says the energy is coming to the room on Monday morning. And I knew it. I was excited to have you on the show because this is a perfect day. From now on, whenever you're on my show, you're welcome back. Mondays. As a matter of fact, if you're not doing nothing on Monday mornings, you jump on here and be on here every Monday. We'll get them fired up for their week. That's no doubt. So let's dial in on a topic that I saw that you posted, and that's what made me reach out and say, hey, haven't talked to you in a while. It's time for you to be on the show. 21 days to a habit.
Yes, but it's so funny. Okay, so we, you know how sometimes you see memes that say, like, don't share an article until you read the whole article. You know what I'm saying? Right?
I'm famous for that.
And then you're like, oh shit. Oh, sorry. Like,
no, you're okay.
Maybe I shouldn't have shared that article. I didn't read it, right? The gist is 21 days. You read it all the time. 21 days to change your habit. And it started way back in the day. Some guy, I forget his name, Maxwell Muntz or something like that. And a lot of your motivational speakers or your coaches, they really have like kind of jumped on the bandwagon for this 21 day.
That's correct.
this guy noticed, he actually noticed it was like a minimum of 21 days to actually change some sort of behavior pattern, to notice you have a pattern and then to change it. We love the 21 day because it's kind of a nice package. But I read some studies, of course, that lead you down this thing. There's one study out of London that it takes 88 to 254 days.
What?
To have it. It was like, oh my God, I don't have all that time, right?
I got to kick this habit now or else.
Right? I don't know how they got that number, but 254 days to change a habit. That's not going to get a lot of people joining in on your program.
That's right. It sounds too much like work. 21 days, I've got that time.
But this also comes from William James's work. He's from New York City. He's an American philosopher, psychologist from way back in the day, right? 1800s. And his whole thing, and this goes with yoga philosophy, it all goes down to the individual person and how enthusiastic are you? How determined are you? How dedicated are you? How consistent are you? Yes, 21 days can work, right? If you're consistent. And if you're enthusiastic, and this is a yoga, this comes from some yoga philosophy. If you're not enthusiastic, you will fail, right? If you do not have the enthusiasm to persist and do the day-to-day chore or practice, you're going to fail. We'll all fail because there's no, why do it then, right? There's right? So yes, in 21 days, because it's a minimum of 21 days, we can start to notice our patterns, our habits, and we can start to notice the benefits from this new habit or pattern. We can start to notice changes in our life, whether now that this habit will be an automatic thing, or will this habit be easy? Will it actually be something that's like from our unconscious or subconscious? That's still, according to these studies, there's still, if it's going to be 88 days, you still got 60 more days before this habit becomes like rote, okay? You still have to work at it, okay?
Right.
But you'll be well established in it. But if you don't have the enthusiasm, even after 21 days, you're not going to stick to it, right?
Well, yeah, well, there's, excuse me, there's two sides. You've got the habit that your goal, you're being strategic about it. I'm going to do this for 21 days. And I'm going to form this new habit because it's positive and it's part of my overall strategy. But then you've got, how do I break this habit that I've been doing for 40 years? Right. I'm taking 40 years of a bad habit, whether it's your eating pattern or, just something. It might be something that you say all the time and you want to get rid of it, but you want to replace it. It is difficult to do it in 21 days, but 21 days, because a habit is behavior. Right. And it's behavior through regular repetition that makes it automatic. Right. So your behavior and your repetition over here on the bad habit has a long period of rehearsal and practice. You've mastered it. You've mastered the bad habit. Right. Now, how do you master replacing it with the good habit? Right.
And that takes dedication, and we call it tapas in yoga, heat, passion, zest for this new thing, right? And that's the great thing. And you can't just break a bad habit. You just can't say no more. Well, you can actually.
Well, it's not easy.
It's not easy. So replacing that old habit with a new habit is much easier. They say that's an easy route. Takes time, takes practice. Yeah. So because how do humans learn? Repetition and shock. Okay. Now, sometimes it's a shock thing, like something, a disease or something happens and you're shocked into never doing that thing again. And then you drop it, like my friend says, drop it like a hot potato. Because
that's
is that powerful? We don't give the mind enough credit, okay, that you could change in a moment, in a day. Right now, I don't do that thing anymore, and make that decision. And that's a strong will. That's a strong mind, right? And also it takes confidence in yourself. Like, yes, I can do this. And I just did it. I don't do that thing anymore, right? But for most of us, we got to actually, it's called neuroplasticity of the brain. We have to actually reform the neural pathways, right? It takes time to form those pathways in the brain, right? That's the beautiful thing. We can do it. Like, no, this is not just like new age talk. The brain can restructure itself from the neurons up. You know what I'm saying? We can restructure the pathways of the brain.
I have to share this with you. You just hit on something, and I actually think there's a book out called The Power of Habit, something along those lines that I read years and years ago. And I can't tell you who it's from. I can't tell you the exact title, but there was one thing that I took away from that book. If you are, let's say you have a camp up in the woods and there's no road. You drive through the woods to get to the camp. Mm-hmm. And you go the next day and you drive the same path. You can see your tire tracks, right? And you do this over and over and over. And eventually you get the ruts in the ground where your vehicle, you don't even have to hold the steering wheel, okay? Because your tires have put the ruts in the ground. The key is to take a different path before the ruts get so deep you can't even steer out of it because your tires are so deep into that rut. They related that to the neural pathways of you're building those ruts in your brain so things can go down that path. You got to be aware of it so you can steer out of it. Right? Does that make sense? Am I making it?
And it's 100% true. And then we have to, then this is where we get deep. Choose your pathways.
Right. Right.
Because you don't want to wake up in 10, 20 years and be like, oh, that wasn't right either.
Yeah, no, right. No, exactly. Yes, exactly. And that's exactly what I'm saying is you have to be first start with the conscious mind.
Right. Yes.
Take the time to stop and think about it and go, okay, I got this bad habit. It's hard for me to break. That's because you've dug that rut so deep that your neural pathways are dug into your brain. But think about it for a second and stop the car and go, okay, what if I went that way? And what does that look like in the end?
Right.
Right. This is good. This is good Monday morning stuff.
And then eventually get to the place, this is according to yoga philosophy, where we don't want to have any ruts. We don't want to have any grooves, right? So that you actually tread lightly. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you get to that place but it takes work to get to, so it's like you want the most easeful, and we call it sattva or sattvic life. It's very easeful, treading lightly, floating, right? But to float, but to get to there, and say you're in this rut here that's very like slothful and like it's inertia, like you're in a rut, literally, right?
Yes.
Get from here to here, there has to be this action. So you might spend a good portion in your life serving others, like, like serving the community, doing good, still working but activating and being and dreaming and doing what we're doing. But it's definitely a better rut, a lighter rut than you were in, right? But eventually we'll get to the place where we actually come out of that one, because as we leave this earth, it would be good to leave with no grooves, no ruts. No, so a much more clear, free, spacious lightness. So you don't take that trip, if you believe, into next life or your if you believe that, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to take the groove with you. You don't want to take the ruts with you,
right?
Into the next day. That could be creating new pathways today, going to sleep and really clearing. I'm just thinking of this now, clearing the slate, waking up tomorrow, making a choice. You know what I'm saying? We're not just blindly subjected to what happened yesterday. We can make better choices for sure.
Well, and think about that though. Picture your life, all of us, all of our viewers, yourself, myself. If you were to wake up tomorrow and all of the ruts that you've been carving into your brain are gone. Just picture, you first of all, visualize it, right? Picture they're completely gone. And now you have full control over the steering wheel, right? It's easy driving. Say it's flat land and it's this beautiful scenery, right? You can that is serenity.
Yes, that's freedom.
Freedom.
Yes, clarity.
Oh my gosh, serenity, freedom, and clarity. I can't handle this.
I can't stop talking.
All this and more.
You're blowing my mind. It's like, just let's stop now.
And it's only Monday morning. It's not even 8 o'clock yet.
Right? Imagine if we walk, and that's a beautiful place to be, right? And a lot of when we think about creating a new path, that could be the new path. Like, how do we do that? How about that as a groove? Like, how do we reset every night? And it's or every morning, and it's meditation.
You just took the while. I wanted to say that. I knew the answer. I'm like, well, I got the answer. It's meditation. Great segue.
At night looks different than meditation at morning. Say, like, I meditate at night lying in bed. Like, I don't do a seated meditation at night. Like, I could do a mid-evening one if I wanted to, but at night I lie down and I actually scan my whole body. And people can do it with light. I do it with, and it's always, for me, it's like honey, like healing honey or whatever. But I go through my whole body. I start with my top of my head, my brain, my eyes, and it can be gratitude. You just go through your whole body with gratitude, with love, with appreciation. But I try, and in the beginning, when you start stuff like this, when you start like a guided meditation, you might get to your nose and be like thinking of something else or already falling asleep, right? The goal be able to focus and concentrate, go through your whole entire body if you were going to do this kind of meditation until you get to your toes and then fall asleep, right? But it's almost like it's this self-healing, self-gratitude, self-appreciation. And then when it's over, I'm like, this is okay. I'm ready for bed, right? I'm ready to go to sleep now. And my sleep is, like you said, different. Like, it's like different with your chloro-oxygen there. And then I wake up in the next day, I'm saying, already infused with that sense of gratitude, self-love, self-care. And then meditation in the morning, for me, looks different. It's seated, it's calm, clearing and cleansing. I like those two words, clearing and cleansing of the mind, right? And if you can do it before you do any action, like if you can roll out of bed and sit and meditate, you haven't created anything to then silence, right? When you think like of a pond, they often use a pond. And you have a still pond, and then you throw a pebble in the pond, there's a ripple, right? So we want a still pond, right? And early in the morning, the pond, like we know, you go up to Lake Sacandaga there, the lake is like so calm in the morning, right? But then the boats start churning it, right? You're not going to get the same experience in the evening. There's lots of waves in the evening, right? So in the morning, if you can get your pond to be as still as possible, but going to make a cup of tea, there's a ripple. But it's not a big ripple. Maybe you make a cup of tea, get back on the cushion, little ripple. Okay, still pond, right? But if you're like walking the dog, blah, blah, doing all this stuff.
It's a splash. It's a wave.
Yes, exactly. So it's so much more easeful. And that's why they say, wake up like 4 to 6 a.m., 3 to 5 a.m. Wake up early before the house wakes up, before the animals or the kids or even the neighbors, like before the trash trucks come. Get up early where it's just the oxygen is good, right? The lighting is good. And so if we did this earlier, even the lighting would be even better, Joe.
You are speaking my language though. So I downloaded this app, okay? It's the Calm app. I don't know if you're familiar with it, right? It's a pretty cool app. And I was listening to this meditation, and I love these meditation people because they're like, now I want you to focus on your eyebrows. Like they have these voices and there's this synthesizer in the background. So it's like really cool stuff. So, but the one thing that this person said, and I love it because I do it all the time, and it's just what you're saying. When you think about every part of your body, and the one thing that this guy was saying was, think about the tension that you have in that particular area and let it go. So when you get to your mouth, and this is weird stuff. It's not weird, but it's weird. Like when you find out, wow, my gosh, you don't realize that there's tension when you go to bed at night. There's tension in your mouth and your jaw and your eyes. And when you consciously focus on it and say, I'm going to let go, all of a sudden you feel your jaw drop down. You could feel it in your face, in your head. It's this release. Yep. And then you go to your shoulders and you realize you're trying to go to bed, and all of a sudden you let go of that tension and your shoulders drop down. By the time you get to your feet, you're like, oh man, if somebody calls me right now and I got to get up and answer the phone, I'm going to be very mad.
Right. Because meditation helps you get into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest, digest, and restore, right?
Say that again.
We have two parts of our autonomic nervous system. We have sympathetic, which is fight, flight, or freeze. They say fight, it's fear, based, and reaction. It's a reaction-based part of your nervous system. The tiger is coming. You have to react. Yes, run. Or fight it. Okay, fight the tiger or run from the tiger, right? That's fight or flight, right? And that's the sympathetic nervous system. Then we have the parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest, digest, and restore, right? And I watched a great documentary on Netflix last night called Heal, right? And it's 2017. I strongly recommend it. But they talk about this kind of stuff, right? And meditation helps you get into this restful part of your nervous system, right? Because the thing about it is when you're in your sympathetic nervous system, your body is going to basically constrict because it's saying we need to run from the tiger. So we don't need to salivate. We don't need our stomach processes because we're not going to eat anything right now. We're not going to digest anything right now. We could eliminate quickly so we're lighter to run from this tiger, you know what I'm saying? But right. It tends to withdraw blood, oxygen, energy, right, into these unnecessary parts of the body that are not necessary for fight or flight, okay? People live in this portion of their nervous system, okay? It's not the tigers anymore, but it's the job, it's the boss, it's the taxes, it's the bills, it's COVID, you know what I'm saying? Like we have all these stressors, okay? And right. People live in a state of fear and anxiety, okay? And it's constant, like just pulling a string on a tightly wound guitar over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, right. Good analogy.
People live there, right? Constant. And it's hard for them to get into that parasympathetic nervous system. And there are techniques that can help us. In this movie last night, there was a guy, listen to this. I want to have this title. He's a neuroacoustic wizard. I was like,
you're just a yoga master.
The wizard. How do I become the neuroacoustic wizard? Okay.
I like the word wizard anyway. Put that on any title.
Wizard, right? I think I need about 20 more years to get to wizard status. Okay. But he does things with sound. Like you said about the synthesizer. I felt you when you said that, because it's about frequencies that can bring you into the parasympathetic.
Yes.
The woman on the movie that she was having like a lot of issues with her skin. She was living in a high state of fight or flight. And he mentioned that by using sound, he gets people to the parasympathetic nervous system, but he gets them to the lowest point of the sympathetic nervous system. And you can see it on the computer screen, how then they can go into the parasympathetic. He got this one woman to the lowest part of her sympathetic, and then she bounced right back. She never entered the parasympathetic nervous system because she lives chronically. She lives consistently in a state of fight or flight. And wow. My family, I have family members that do, like people that live in a constant state of anxiety, of being overwhelmed, worry, right? And they're just living at this tension, and they can never get there. They can never go to the lowest point of that and to enter the parasympathetic nervous system, and talk about sound like you just did, the synthesizer. We have one of the best musical instruments ever in our throat, right? So humming stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, the vagus nerve. So we can hum, sing. They say singing at the top of your lungs in the shower or the car helps promote getting into the parasympathetic nervous system, right? Oming, chanting, humming. they say bearing down, like this is a great one. Okay. Bearing down, like you have to take a poop, right? Okay. So think of like a 2-year-old having a tantrum. Once they do that, they usually chill out the 2-year-old that's having a tantrum. Okay? Bearing down is good for your parasympathetic nervous system. And if we're going to have that conversation, we can talk about having a good poop is great.
Well, I was going to say, listen, take the chlorooxygen with coconut water. Bearing down's not going to be that difficult. Trust me.
Right? It all comes. This is another senior moment. This is another conversation. We love yogis and seniors love to talk about their poop. Okay. They're highly invested in how good looking it is or how, smooth it is.
It starts when you're a kid. It starts when you're a kid, right? I can remember my son. He was like 4 years old. He calls me, Dad, come in here, Dad. Why? I'm watching something on TV. Hold on. No, Dad, you have to come here now. He was so proud. I'm like, Dom, that's wonderful.
I love that. Well, they say you only get to heaven through the reverting back to the child, right? Isn't that one of the sayings there? Like through the gates, the pearly gates, you have to be like a child or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure I ever left that child in my head.
Well, there you go. There's not deep grooves there.
That's unbelievable. So the 21 habits, let's talk about your program. Okay. Because then it'll be like, we have 2 minutes left. Let's talk about your program. I'm intrigued and I want to be a part of this somehow. You have to educate me, educate our viewers. What does it take? What is it? What is this 21 days that you're doing?
Okay. So, taking a break and when I took a break, I had to really watch myself wanting to give, wanting to teach, wanting to do, right? It was very interesting to watch the mind and the habits because I'm a teacher and I teach every day, 2 to 3 times a day. And I had to watch myself wanting to do that and saying, no, draw back, practice for yourself, meditate for yourself, Jennilee. There's so much more that, that you could absorb and cultivate, like take some time for yourself. Yeah. Which was wonderful. But I think that's a whole show in itself, because we feel selfish, what I'm saying? Like, and I don't feel selfish, but I just noticed how I wanted to share. I keep wanting to teach. I want to provide. Yeah. Which is those are nice qualities, but I pulled back. But then there's a moment where it's like, enough is enough. I need to get back out there. So first of all, I'm doing a training and it's this yoga that my friend created that I helped her create way back in the day called Envision Yoga. Envision Yoga is based on Tony Robbins. Woo! Right?
Love him.
Right?
Love him.
NLP, which is a lot of the techniques that Tony Robbins and many motivational or life coaches will use. Okay. Neuro-linguistic programming. It's Hatha and Kundalini yoga and the chakra system, right? And you put all that together with great music and we have this 90-minute yoga class and I'm teaching people how to teach that with the workshop that supports it. So it's a teacher training, but people can take it as part of personal growth, right? It's every Saturday in August. So I'm doing this Envision Yoga training every Saturday in August from 8 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with great workshops, like on neuroplasticity and stuff like that. But then along with that, I noticed on the calendar that there are 21 weekdays, right? Which is perfect because that led me to that what you hear, 21
That's right.
To have it. And because I haven't been doing the meditations with my people, only on the new moon and the full moon, because that's how I stay connected, new moon and full moon. So now I was like, okay, we're going to do this 21 days. So it's 21 weekdays. So nothing on the weekends. Okay. Which in my research, when you are trying to create a habit and you're committed, it doesn't matter. Like, so people can still do Saturday and Sunday, even though I'm not leading them, but it's okay if you don't do Saturday or Sunday and we start again on Monday. If you're committed to this habit, you're committed to beyond the 21 days. It's fine. Right. So we're just doing 21 weekdays from August 3rd to August 31st, right? 7 a.m. your time, right? And we sit for half an hour. Okay. And when we sit, I always do establish the seat. So how the body feels. We do breath. I'm always about, breath because that starts to withdraw the mind. We get into some sort of feel the breath. There might be certain techniques we might do that day. Yeah. And then we do some concentration because I'm a big fan of focus and concentration. And then we soften into spaciousness. So that there's a step-by-step process, right? Body, breath, focus the mind, concentrate the mind, single pointedness, but then you soften into the spaciousness, not only within your own body, but around your body, in the room, and maybe beyond.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right, 7 a.m.
Yep.
I want to do this, but I can't do this on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday because I'm in my show. So how do you handle that?
So you get, so I'm doing this all through email because it's Zoom link, right? Because I am charging, right? So it's a, $25 for the 21 days, nothing big, right?
Right.
But I give you the email link, okay, to get on. Well, the link is the link, yeah. But then every day I send an email after the meditation. So by 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you will have in your inbox the recording and the quote that I used that day. Because I have people in Europe or people in Hawaii, they're not going to get up, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
California, but you'll have the recording. So you could actually still do the 21 days, even if it's not at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I'm going to sign up by 8:30 today. When we close the show, you and I are going to close the show together today because I want to continue our conversation on a couple of things. But that is one. I am going to sign up for this by 8:30 today. I want to be a part of this. Let me tell you what I did. And maybe, and if I'm too soon on this story, so I want to make sure you get that out there. First, before I tell you my story, tell us, how do we sign up? Tell our viewers, how do they sign up to be a part of this 21-day meditation program that you put together?
You just send me an email. This is old school. And then you just buy me an Amazon gift card. That's how we're doing it.
It's beautiful. So you want to put your email out there for our viewers?
Yeah, Jennilee Toner at Gmail. It's me, at Gmail. And then you get on the email list. We have 33 people already, that are joining in. And it is a nice collective. So the days you can get on live, like, okay, because we watch your show recorded as well. But if you can get on live with these people, there is an energy, a collective.
It's a different level of engagement. Absolutely, hands down. So Jennilee Toner at gmail.com. No numbers, no spaces, no dashes, no dots. Jennilee Toner. You can see her name right in there. It's JennileeToner at gmail.com.
Yeah.
And it starts when?
August 3rd.
August 3rd. Okay, sign up, people. Be a part of it. I will definitely be in the room on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I will be doing the pre-record or the recording after. Okay. So which I wanted to help you put that out there, but I knew, like, when I asked you to be on the show, it was going to be a show. I knew that. I have experience having you on the show. So I have to share this story with you. So there was this, and I can't remember the name of the guy because I didn't get that deep into it, but on the homepage of Google last week, there was this somewhat of a contest. Film yourself for a day from morning to night, from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, and submit your video. Take clips of your life. It's a day in the life, and send the clips to this producer, and they will feature you, if selected, in a documentary film that's going to be presented at film festivals, and it's basically remembering 2020. And actually, the guy's brilliant because I said, this guy has put this out there, and the general consumer citizen is providing the content. All he's going to do is chop it all up, put the nice music there, and he's making a film out of this. So I said, wow, this sounds like something I would love to be a part of. So from the time I woke up Saturday to the time I went to bed, I took a 10-second clip of what I was doing. And it's very interesting when you watch. I'm editing it now. You don't have to edit this. You just send the raw clips, but I decided to put them all together. So it's kind of my own little 12-hour documentary of my life, right? The day in the life of Joe Altieri. I have never done this before. It's very interesting. I got film clips of me shaving after I just got out of the shower. Yes, I have a towel on and stuff, but it's very interesting because I recognized things I want to change about myself by watching that. Like, I've always struggled with weight, and I don't mean struggled like it has me depressed in bed all day, but I'm not happy with my body and my weight. And it bothers me. It bothers me when I buy clothes. It bothers me when I'm out in a restaurant. It just bothers me, right? Watching myself for 12 hours on film. I woke up this morning. I went crazy. I bought more vegetables. My refrigerator is packed. I'm on chloroxygen. I'm changing my life. Right. I want to lose 40 pounds. And I've put this out there many times. I talk about it. People go, yeah, here's his Monday morning sermon, right? Joe Altieri talking about losing weight again. It's gotten old. It's gotten boring. Yeah. Watch yourself for 12 hours on film. Yep. And that's why I was like so excited. I'm like, and Jennilee is on my show talking about habit.
Yeah.
And
right in it. You're right in it. And if I could give you like, I'm sure there's many tips, but when you think about what you want to lose weight, think about elimination. A big word, a big buzzword. I know it's a buzzword, but a key word is elimination. And this has to do with the habit, things that we've accumulated, okay, in the body and the mind and the heart, on the soul, on the shoulders, right? We've accumulated so much. Good and bad, okay, but we cling, we hold, we don't want to let it go, right? And so, how can we eliminate? Okay, what can we eliminate, right? What are some of these habits that we can let go of? We can eliminate. What good habits can we add, right? When you think about, and here it goes back. I love when it always goes back to the poop, okay? Because
do we have to go back there?
Let's talk about elimination without really talking about elimination. Right? Eliminate the toxins through sweating, through crying, right? Pooping and peeing, right? But we want to eliminate. And one of the best things we can do, and I hear myself because I don't do it enough either. Okay, so I'm going to start with you. Okay, every morning, and I know you're doing your
chloroxygen,
yep. But also hot water with lemon or lime. Okay. First thing in the morning, because when you think about, and this came from I learned this way back in the day, 2000, I read Dr. Diamond's book, and it was Fit for Life. I know there's other Fit for Life, but Fit for Life. And he talked about the 8-hour aspects of the day, or the phases of the day. From 4 a.m. to 12 noon is our elimination time. We're meant to just eliminate. And that's why one of his things from his book was fruit till noon. Fruit till noon. He said, if anyone takes anything from my book or my program, it's fruit to noon. Fruit goes through your body in 20 minutes. 20 minutes, fruit, okay? So in the morning, you want to do your hot water with your lemon, your fruits, right? Until noon, he says, because from 4 a.m. to 12 noon is elimination. From 12 noon to 8 p.m., you assimilate, you take the body in, you digest, you take it in, okay? So from noon to 8, we're supposed to do our eating. And you can do healthy eating, you can do healthy food combining, whatever you're gonna do. But 12 to 8 p.m. is eating time. 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. is assimilation time. It's when the body will take in the nutrients, disperse them, what needs to stay in, and what is going to need to be eliminated at 4 a.m. when it's time to do elimination again, right?
Yeah.
So this has always stuck with me because I've been the healthiest when I followed this model, right? That from 4 a.m. to 12, and fruit till noon, things that are going to go through your body with ease to support elimination. Then you eat from 12 to 8. Okay, according to this phase system, right? And then you don't eat after 8 because from 8 to 4, you're just meant to assimilate the benefits from what you ate from 12 to 8.
I love what you're saying. And I just got a notice that says your battery's going dead. That's when you see me doing this, I'm plugging I didn't realize it wasn't plugged in. But I love what you're saying because I just went yesterday and I told you I went crazy. I bought all the vegetables. I threw stuff away because I'm serious. I am doing this time. I'm not getting any younger, right? But the one thing I said to Michelle, I bought the frozen fruit for smoothies, and it comes in individually wrapped packages now, which is nice. You take out one package, boom, little coconut water in there, right?
Yeah.
And I just said yesterday, so you make me feel really good about what I'm doing, is that I said, you know what? I'm done with the omelets in the morning. I'm done with the bacon. I'm done with even oatmeal. I'm done. I says, for now on, my breakfast is going to be a fruit smoothie with coconut water.
Yep.
And now you're telling me that I'm doing the right thing, and I didn't even know.
Yep. Like we talked about earlier, soup, you know what I'm saying? It's things that are kind to the body, that offer ease. And in the mouth, we have the enzymes. One of the first enzymes to help in the process of digestion, assimilation, and eventually elimination, you have this enzyme in the mouth through your saliva. And we don't chew. First of all, smoothies, make sure you can, I learned this years ago from a friend. You want to be able to chew your smoothie. Okay?
Oh, wow.
Yes. So because of these enzymes that are actually produced by the chewing, by mastication, chewing. So if you throw a ton of spinach, usually that will leave, or hemp seeds. Okay, or even chia seeds, something that also with all your fruits, your coconut water, whatever you're putting in there, that you can actually chew your smoothie as well. I mean, you're not chewing it like you would chew something.
No, right, but that's good to know. And that makes sense too, because I know, like, when my dad was sick and I had to give him medicine, they had me put it behind his tongue, right? Because hospice came in and I was giving him medicine through a syringe, and it was the saliva, because it quickly brings it to the rest of the body. Right. Wow. Awesome information. Perfect timing, because we are going to end this show. But first, I want to tell you this. Thank you so much. This was a great Monday morning. What a way to start the week. Let's make some change together. I am serious about this. I'm telling you, I am going to make a difference in myself, but that's why I want to bring it to our viewers. Hopefully everybody's on board. And, here's the cool thing, Jennilee. I've had a few people on the show, and then they call me after and they go, I've already gotten some phone calls from your viewers. I love that. If one person makes a phone call, if one person signs up for your meditation, other than myself, because I'm in on this, okay? Yeah. Then you know what? We changed the mind of one person. We've helped somebody get out of that rut that's been carved into your brain for all these years, and let's start a new path.
Because we want to do it through repetition. We don't want to be shocked into making changes by disease or, right? We want to consciously make the choice to change.
That's right.
We don't want to have to change because all of a sudden we're sick, right? Like, we don't want that. I mean, I know that's grave way to end the show, but we want to consciously make these decisions right now. Like, I feel like I'm not usually a motivational speaker.
No, you're doing a good job.
I teach yoga, but this is like we have to all right now make a decision to just like drop it like a hot potato. Yeah. And maybe you're not going to change the habit, but you're going to commit to the process of changing the habit, right?
It's like dropping the mic, because behavior through regular repetition makes things automatic. Jennilee Toner, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us here on Wake Up to the Vibe. Have an awesome day. Pay it forward. Let your light shine. We'll see you on Wednesday morning. We'll see you later, folks.